robots are coming for your microphone. No, it's not Skynet. It's a slew of truly impressive AI tools. In this video, we're going to explore just how far we can push these tools by creating a podcast from the ground up made entirely by AI. For our experiment today, we're going to be playing around with a few different AI tools to build our podcast. First up is ChatGPT from OpenAI. ChatGPT is an insane tool. It can do everything from writing your scripts, generating code, and creating blogs. Basically, anything dealing with a written word. So I'm inside of ChatGPT, and the very first thing I'm going to be doing is to use the AI within ChatGPT to generate a list of potential topics that I want my podcast to be based off of. I'm going to ask it, give me a list of potential podcast topics that are popular and have heavy SEO value. So let's see what it gives me. So if we look at this, we've got true crime, personal development, health and wellness, business and entrepreneurship, pop culture, politics and news, sports, history. Let's see if we can niche down a little bit further and really define a subtopic of the true crime genre. So let's ask the robot here, can you narrow down the true crime category? Make it more niche. Okay, so from that narrowing down, what do we've got here? So we've got missing persons, disappearances in national parks, cold cases, historical mysteries, UFO and alien encounters, haunted places. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the haunted places one. Now that we've got our topic, let's try to define what exactly our podcast title will be. So I'm going to look in here and I'm going to type in, can you give me 5 click-worthy podcast titles that are centered around haunted places? These are awesome. Look at some of these titles. The Spirits Among Us, Ghosts of History, The Dark Side of Tourism, Abandoned and Haunted, the most terrifying places you never want to visit. So let's go with Abandoned and Haunted. Next up, let's take a look at creating a description for this podcast. So now that we have a solid title, let's go ahead and create some podcast cover art. Now there are plenty of different image generation tools out there that are powered by AI. Some of them are free and some of them are paid. For this example, we'll be using Bing's free image generation tool, which is powered by OpenAI's DALL-E. So we are now inside of Bing's image creator tool. And just like with ChatGPT, the results we're going to get are all going to be dependent on what type of prompts we give the AI. So we want to make sure that we're extra descriptive and that we give as much detail as possible. So using our title of Abandoned and Haunted, let's see what type of results we can get with a series of descriptive prompts. Wow, these are amazing. Extremely detailed, just crazy that you're getting these results out of literally just a prompt. It's really nuts. What's nice about this is that I can actually get additional variations on this prompt. If I click the create button again, it will give me 4 additional variations. And if I ever want to compare my previous versions to my current ones, I actually have those previous ones saved and can refer back to them. So it's really neat to kind of iterate on these different cover art designs. It is worth noting that some AI art applications do have some difficulty in generating text. For this example, we're going to hop over to Canva and add in our podcast title to our artwork. See, humans are still needed for some things. So we've got artwork, a show title, and a description. Next up, let's build our episode. So I'm back in ChatGPT, and just like when I was using this tool to figure out what my topic and title and description of my podcast as a whole are going to be, I want to use the power of AI to figure out just what exactly my episode topic for my new show is going to be. It took further prompts, but I was able to get ChatGPT to generate a list of very detailed topics that we could use to base our podcast episodes on. I'm thinking that's the one we're going with. Creepy and clown. Yep, that's a good podcast episode. Here comes the fun part. So I'm going to actually ask that ChatGPT try to generate a 5-minute script for our podcast using the topic that we've picked. In this script, I'm going to include the following. First, a short 1-sentence teaser that'll grab the audience an intro for our overall podcast, our main narrative about our creepy clown, and then a outro and then a call to action to follow the podcast on all platforms. Very standard stuff. Let's see if ChatGPT can do it. Wow. This is insane. So it gave us a teaser, it gave us a host welcome, and then a bulk of a story, and then gave us an outro. Now, if we wanted to stop there and record our script ourselves, we could. But this video is all about an AI recording a podcast. So let's see if there are some AI text-to-speech apps that can sound as good as me on the microphone. Just like with AI art tools, there are a ton of text-to-speech applications we could choose from. But the one by ElevenLabs provides some of the most naturally sounding AI voices. They even give you the ability to adjust the cadence of your voice using their variability slider, as well as even cloning your own voice, which is very creepy. For our recording, I'm going to upload sections of our script and generate separate audio files for my teaser, intro, and main content. Episode's done. What about show notes and titles? Well, ChatGPT could take care of that as well. But there's actually a really cool tool that is capable of spitting out titles, show notes, and a bunch of other features with podcasters in mind. And it's called Swell AI. Swell AI works by first uploading your finished audio file. Their AI will transcribe that audio file and provide you with everything from title suggestions, episode summaries, show notes, and more. So let's add our AI-generated podcast and see what we end up with. So we're inside of Swell AI, and one of the things you'll notice is that everything here is organized by what they call projects. So we've created a new project called AI Podcast, and the first step that we're going to do is actually upload our audio file. So I've grabbed my audio file from Studio, dropping it in. So it's basically going to process that and generate a transcript, which we can use for all of these different outputs, which is really cool. Now that we've got that done, let's take a look at what it's given us based off of our audio. We have show notes, we have timestamps, we have summaries, and we have titles. Let's take a look at the titles that it gives us. And these are fantastic titles. Exploring the spooky legends of Joyland Amusement Park. Discovering the paranormal activity of abandoned locations. The creepy clown of Joyland Amusement Park. Looking at this, I think I like the creepy clown of Joyland Amusement Park. That seems fitting. Let's take a look at our show notes. So our show notes, it gives us a summary, it gives us timestamps, and we could select these blocks, as they call it, which are just kind of sections. Think of them a little bit like snippets, but I kind of like the idea of just using the summary and just throwing in the title for this. A longer episode, obviously, we might want to have a little bit more, including the timestamps, but I think for this episode, summary and the title are good to go. One thing to note is that while Swell AI does offer a free plan, it is fairly limiting, but they do offer paid options that range from monthly to yearly. But what I love is that they offer a per episode price, which means you don't have to commit to a full year or full month if you're only going to use their services for a couple episodes here and there. And there we have it, a fully AI-produced podcast. Let's take a listen to the first few seconds.
In this episode, we'll take you to Joyland Amusement Park in Kansas, where visitors have reported seeing the ghostly apparition of the park's creepy clown mascot, Louie. Welcome to Abandoned and Haunted, where we explore the paranormal activity and eerie legends of abandoned locations around the world.
So how did the AI do in creating our podcast? Check the link in the description to listen to the full episode. And let us know down in the comments if you think the AI is coming for your microphone. Now, with all that said, do we think that podcasters should start creating podcasts this way? No. At its core, podcasting is an intimate experience. When you jump on the microphone, you are connecting directly with your audience. Your audience, in turn, is directly connecting with you on a personal level. That is something that a machine just can't replicate. But what can AI help us with? Like with every tool, AI can be used to help with repetitive tasks that take away from the creative process. Tools like Swell AI are great for repurposing our audio content by creating blogs, suggesting titles, creating show notes, things that would normally take us hours to do ourselves. And when it comes to our audio quality, that's really where AI shines the brightest. AI tools like Adobe Podcast can aid in cleaning up our audio to make it sound its absolute best. So no, the machines are not coming for your podcast, or your microphones for that matter. But what AI tools can do is help take some of the time suck out of your podcast workflow. I'm Brian Coddington from Libsyn, and remember, keep podcasting.